As a brand, Vanquish is known for providing prestigious services to its international client base, but is also slightly complex. From investigations to bug sweeping and owning what is considered to be one of the most exclusive bodyguard courses in the private sector anywhere in the world, things can appear slightly confusing. I will therefore take you through the history of the individual companies and how everything came about for what is now commonly known as the Vanquish Group. In 2011, the first Vanquish company was incorporated. Vanquish Security and Investigation Consultants Limited was initially set up to provide security services to high net worth individuals and celebrities. Because the security industry is very competitive, it was decided from the outset that Vanquish should also offer a unique selling point that was our investigative services that would investigate any threats that a security client may receive. After realizing that security services alone were not providing enough income to support the company, mainly due to the after effects of the global financial crisis, we decided to open our investigative doors to the public, which is when we purchased the privateinvestigators.co.uk. We then started to provide general private investigation services, including corporate and matrimonial investigations. Upon receiving requests for surveillance operations across the UK, we quickly discovered that our operatives simply didn't have the training or experience required, or necessary, to carry out these tasks successfully to any respectable standard. It was for that reason that we decided to train our existing security operatives in surveillance. It was at this point when we started to write what was intended to be a 3-day basic surveillance training course. In an effort to make it convenient for existing operatives to attend the course, it was originally planned to be held over the weekend, starting on the Friday and finishing on a Sunday. However, after testing the first course on a small number of candidates, it became apparent that the course would only be 2 days long as opposed to 3. Surveillance courses to this day begin on a Saturday. Shortly after opening our investigation services to the public, it became apparent that this was going to provide a lucrative income, which is why we wanted to purchase the privateinvestigators.com, which was felt that would give us more of an international presence. And in April 2012, Vanquish entered into the bidding war with a number of companies in America for this domain name, which we won. In June 2012, the first ever surveillance training course took place in London. After inviting a vast number of existing security operatives to attend the course, we received a number of requests from security operatives who did not currently work for Vanquish to attend the course. However, it was stated that the course was only for our own operatives and made no logical sense for us to allow others to attend for free. But it was argued that these individuals would be willing to pay to attend. This was the beginning of Vanquish Training Academy being open to the public. By October 2013, the 5-day advanced surveillance course had finished being written and was held for the first time in London. In January 2014, we opened our second UK office in Manchester City Centre. After receiving dozens of requests from both corporate and private clients, we decided to add technical surveillance countermeasures, or bug sweeping, to our list of services. Because of this, we also had to produce a brand new training course which was written again by us. After acquiring new clients from across the pond, we decided to open an office in the United States, and in August 2014, Vanquish Security and Investigation Consultants LLC was incorporated in the state of New York. In 2015, the first batch of US-based Vanquish staff were trained in New York City. Back in the UK, it was decided that the investigation business should become an entity in its own right, and in June 2015, Vanquish Investigation Services Limited was founded. In December 2015, Vanquish became an approved training center, allowing us to deliver security courses approved by the Security Industry Authority. The key aim here was to deliver our very own close protection bodyguard course. 1 month later, we announced the launch of the Vanquish Close Protection course, which became the world's first and only application-only civilian bodyguard program. Essentially, this meant that as opposed to simply booking onto a course, you had to go through an application process where we would hand-select between 4 to 6 people to attend each course. In May 2016, Vanquish became a registered trademark. This meaning that we now owned the rights to the word and no one could use it in relation to security, education, or investigative services without our consent. Shortly after, Vanquish Security announced the final interviews. This was to implement a policy whereby we would no longer recruit anyone who has not successfully passed one of our own training courses. We made this policy for the investigation side of the business back in 2012, but it was now going to apply to our security services as well. In September 2018, the Security Academy was launched, providing security-related training courses to other international students. After this, not a great deal happened other than expanding our client list until January 2019, when it was announced that our founder was going to launch a new book based on the existing bug sweeping course. In March 2019, Technical Surveillance Countermeasures was officially published, selling on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and a multitude of other retail outlets. As a result of the book launch, Vanquish received numerous requests from across the globe relating to the course, and in October 2019, the first ever civilian bug sweeping course in Australia was delivered by Vanquish Training Academy. The same achievement happened again in Ghana, which was quite possibly the first of its kind in West Africa. Owing to the international success of the book and training program, Vanquish created a brand called TSCM International. This was to be a company solely dedicated to the provision of bug sweeping services. In January 2020, TSCM International became operational in Sydney, serving clients across New South Wales. In May 2020, Vanquish Security and Investigation Consultants became Vanquish Security Services, giving a clear-cut difference between our security branch and our investigation company. From here, our global plans really started to take off. In August 2020, TSCM International became a registered trademark. In September 2020, TSCM International was federally incorporated in Canada as TSCM International Limited. In October 2020, TSCM International is incorporated in the UAE as TSCM International LLC. August 2021 saw the opening of TSCM International's Singapore office. This was shortly followed by another new office in Nigeria, our first in the continent of Africa. TSCM International and Vanquish continues to expand into various regions, but at the time of making this presentation, companies under the Vanquish Group umbrella now have offices in more than 6 countries, spanning 5 continents, giving us a unique ability to deploy our operatives at short notice and serve our clients across the globe. Our priority remains to provide bespoke services to those who require it, securing private, corporate, and public sector environments, investigating fraud and security-related threats, in addition to educating our own operatives to carry out those tasks to fulfill those requirements to the highest possible standard.